Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today, yes, we're going to go over your next dose of the salty batch files. Hopefully you had a good holiday week. We're back, we're starting off the new year, we're getting some salt that's kind of seeping in from the past year here, but we'll be moving on. But we can't forget about these awesome iconic tweets that we'll be going over today. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to the salt here. We're going to do some obvious posts here. They just don't have any self-awareness, but are we surprised at this point? No. But as you can see here, Tom Moran is out to speak and be that Xbox defender here. Here we have, in regards again to the Outer Worlds 2 not being exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem, the Outer Worlds 2 trailer on the PlayStation YouTube channel has to pretend Xbox and PC don't exist, right next to a massive Xbox Games Studios logo with a sighing face, basically, right? Here's the news, right? What are we taking from this? What are we taking from this? This is natural. This is standard, whether it was on Nintendo, whether the first Outer Worlds as well, right? Whether this is on Xbox or it's MLB, stuff like that on another platform. They do that for centric platform trailers on their specific channels, whether that be PlayStation, whether that be Xbox, whether that be Nintendo, whether it be on any other platform. This is not new. So to sit there and try to make us nothing burger out of something, this is exactly what this translates to. And again, we're just at that high octane dose of defense mode for the Xbox platform ecosystem at this point, right? It's going to be weird how we refer to it as time goes on, because right now, yes, they have hardware. In due time, we're just going to be calling it an ecosystem at this point because it's going to be available everywhere, at least in regards to their games. But let's keep going here. So we're not done there, because I'm sure Colt got a whiff of this here and he said, "You're right, let me double down on the stupidity here." So as you can see from Colt Eastwood, Mr. Foot in his mouth, PlayStation is so petty, capital LOL. So he's showing the difference between the two screens there. Again, this is a centric thing. What is Xbox here to do, Colt? Can you knock on that? Can you knock on that head, and can we get any sort of sound off of that? Let's just take a step back. Maybe go to whatever lawyer degree you got. Maybe just take a moment. Let's just think about this. Is it because Xbox is maybe doing full-on third party? They need to make that money. Their games are everywhere. Is that why they're showing everything on theirs? Is that what they're doing? Again, it's a nothing burger out of something here, right? At least they're trying to make it something. It's really insane. It's insane all the time. The insanity, the brain cells that get lost in the context here is beyond me. But we know he grifts. We know that's what he does. If he loses that Xbox fan base, he's done, right? He sits there. I'm a PC guy, but he can't let the Xbox stuff go. Why? He's salty. He's sour. He's never going to let it go. I don't think he'll ever let it go, folks. I really don't. But we'll get to more of him here soon enough. But as we kind of shift a little bit over here, we got one of the dumbest inquiries ever, or comparisons here. But Xbox Series XS, this guy is on a pedestal of stupidity as well. But question, was Factions, talking about The Last of Us Factions, which was in development for a long time, for some context, and never came to be, got canceled, on and on. Was Factions really in development, right? In 2019, Naughty Dog said Factions was not ready. Thank you for clarifying what we already know, first of all. But as we continue, now they are saying Intergalactic, which is the new trailer they shown at the Game Awards, right? Started development in 2020 with a thinking emoji. So are we comparing Intergalactic, a single-player game that has been under the helm there and what's been worked on, probably even conceptualized before Factions at this point, a possibility? This isn't the only IP that's being worked on currently under the studio as well. I know that's hard for those Xbox fanboys to comprehend and understand, but here we are. But again, trying to, I guess the theme of today is going to be, as I trip over my tongue here, is just trying to think so far ahead, is the theme is just really nothing burger stuff, trying to find something to defend the Xbox ecosystem. What are we pulling this from? we're now trying to compare to try to make something out of nothing of a single player game in regards to the controversy that surrounded factions and, Bungie stepping in and all that for additional context. That was a big bonfire of crap, and I still wish we would have gotten something out of that for sure. But to compare it to Intergalactic, for what reason other than it's a Naughty Dog studio game? So now we have to be under the context of, well, it's a Naughty Dog game, so now is it ever going to come out? That's not how that works. Think for 2 seconds. But let's keep going here. We're not done there. Now, this is just pure salt, so take from it what you will here. This is J-Rock and Gaz, both of them in that inner circle, both moving on. Well, at least Gaz is also moving on to the PC side of things. He's another Xbox refugee here. But J-Rock, as you can see here, they probably assume that being the best-selling game of the year, being critically acclaimed, would result in getting the game of the year, but that's just not the case. Look at Forza Horizon, right? Laughing emoji. So he's obviously talking about Astrobot. He's obviously salty about that. And now they're trying to use some sort of context. Well, if it was in regards to sales and players and all this stuff, then that's what classifies what a game of the year is. How many people have ever played Death Stranding yet? Still at this point in time. An amazing game. Who out there played Metal Gear Solid 4? Not everybody and their dog. Who out there has played Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI? I guarantee you not everybody, and I guarantee you not everybody day one. It doesn't matter the sales. What matters is the quality of the game and what's going on there. Since when was that a qualifier? Do they know something that we don't? But we're not done. Gaz, of course, adding in with his salt there. LOL, silly mistake by them. Helldivers 2 winning best ongoing game. Should have clued them up about the whole thing. Obviously, talking about the sales portion here, it looks like. But they got to bring in something. They got to bring in something for the Defense Force on why the Game Awards is rigged, why Jeff Keighley is rigging everything, and anybody under that panel, which has Xbox guys in the voting panel that gets more say. We've been over this. Do you know how stupid they look? We know this. They get the sheep that follow because they just grasp onto, yes, they're giving me points for my brand, the brand that I enjoy, so I must follow them because they're giving me points for the brand, and it doesn't matter if it's false or not. What are we doing? But the salt is real with these two. I mean, they've been coping so bad lately, and I may have to get some sort of a 30-post article from Gaz himself in regards to Katakawa's not buying or being purchased fully by Sony. We may have to touch base on that because he was losing it, and then he thought he could rub salt in the wound because Sony did not full-on outright purchase it, just bought more shares of it, which is a huge deal still in of itself, but he thought that that was sort of a dig that all the PlayStation fans were just devastated by not being purchased. Katakawa not being purchased. But anyways, before I get off track there further, look for that because he's in full mental breakdown mode as we speak. But let's keep going here. So this is a good portion here. Adir, we'll see what happens here with the name pronunciation, but I just want to know why Xbox wants to kneecap games like Hellblade 2, Avowed, and South of Midnight. What's the point of keeping those exclusive and allowing Indiana Jones, Doom, and Outer Worlds 2 to be multi-plat? Let them all free Xbox. Why the schizo strategy? So they still don't understand the concept and what we say over and over on this channel. If you've been following, we state it every time. Xbox has made their bed, they lie in it, Game Pass was the issue, you guys not buying the games, that's where we're at. So now we're still questioning why these games are having to go multi-plat. Why? Why can't we just change this all of a sudden? Because they're tired of fronting the money. They already did it. They already shot off in that direction. It is what it is. But Jez being Jez, I heard they consider Hellblade exclusivity a mistake. Now he wants to admit it was a mistake. Back when it was coming out, not a peep, not a word, that it was common sense that it would be a mistake that they're putting this day one on Game Pass. It's an 8-hour game, unless you're Nico staring at walls for 50 hours straight and inflating your game time. It was an 8-hour game. It needed sales. It needed money. It needed to recoup stuff. It needed all sorts of stuff. But not a peep, but now he wants to double down. He heard that they considered Hellblade 2 a mistake when he could have outright maybe mentioned this like, hey guys, because he didn't want those exclusives going elsewhere, well, here we are. With Tashi Nova, though, no way Fable goes to PlayStation. That would be devastating for their brand, like actually would put them in the dirt. Well, before we get to Jez here, and I'm sure you could read it, but I got some news for him. Fable's more than likely coming. Halo, Gears, Forza, the whole slate is coming. No red line, this, that, and the other. Don't know where you've been, what rock you've been living under, but it's more than likely coming. So yes, it's putting them in the dirt. They are basically full third party. And yes, we get those people coming out. PlayStation's third party too, because you can play blah, blah, blah. Yes, they are. But to the extent of Xbox, are you seeing Returnal? Are you seeing The Last of Us? Are you seeing Horizon, the actual mainline game, not the Lego game, going to Xbox? No. Not anytime soon. Not anywhere in the future that I can predict. I tell you that. I would lie, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. I honestly don't know if that'll ever come in the future. It could come 10 years from now. I don't know. I'm on the record saying. But within the next 10 years, absolutely not. They have absolutely no reason to, and that's the truth. But as Jez says here, that game was monstrously expensive. It may not be day one, but it'll come with the current plan in place, in my opinion. So, yes, these games, to take that out of context here, these games are more than likely hitting PlayStation like I just mentioned, right? It may not be day one, day and date, but 3 to 6 months, that's not long of a wait. I mean, that's not even 12 months. And sometimes you can wait 12 months. I mean, PlayStation still hasn't had Starfield announced for it yet. I would predict it would be announced and released in 2025 at some point. So that can be a 12-month window there. But again, maybe it's kind of smart to keep those exclusive for 12 months. But the fact that Indie was only 3 months, a little over 3 months, but it's coming out in March, right? I mean, that's a pretty short time period. Outer Worlds, day and date, stuff like that, when they could have certainly taken that and been like, at least a 3 to 6 months window to give something out of the ecosystem, right? Nope, day and date. So as time goes on, and if a business wants that money and PlayStation players are buying those games day one and Xbox players are not, and those Game Pass subscription models are not increasing, then we're going to see those closer and closer to day and date. Every single one of those. Hate to break it to you, but we have something from X Game Kid here. He's been diehard, and as you can see, a diehard Xbox fan here, but Xbox is dead, long live PlayStation, he announces here. Xbox players as of today, you no longer exist. Tagging Satya, has decided to strip you of your fan status, invite you to play Xbox games everywhere, especially on PlayStation 5 and 6, but definitely not on Xbox. So change your banner, change your profile picture. Obviously very salty, very upset about this whole path, but I'll tell you what, at least he's not in denial at this point. I mean, he may change his day, tune in a day or two, right? But ultimately, at that point in time, he had some sense of logic, some sort of common sense click inside of his brain there. So I have to give some credit there. Maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel after all for some folks, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But yes, it's true. You can play it anywhere. Everything's an Xbox, like they keep continuing to state in their ads. Everything's an Xbox. You can play a game on it. And I'm sorry, Xbox fanboys and anybody that's upset about PlayStation's success, I'm sorry. Any Xbox game you can play on another piece of platform is considered an Xbox according to them. It doesn't mean it has to have Game Pass associated with it or able to utilize Game Pass on that platform. Everything is an Xbox you can play an Xbox game on. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but those out there want to deny that pretty often, but just wanted to clarify that. But here we go. As we go here, like I said, we got some more cult to end on a little bit more. This one's a little bit of a longer one here, but we have, of course, Colt Eastwood stating, of course, now he just stating the obvious, right? This is exactly what they've been saying for years. Xbox wants you to be able to buy a game and play it on your devices, whenever, wherever, just like we do with our movies, TV, and music. The statement isn't really addressing their games on PlayStation approach at all. So he's talking about Tom Warren mentioning Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella on the this and that ad strategy. We are redefining what it means to be an Xbox fan. It's about being able to enjoy Xbox on all your devices. Links the article to his stuff, right? Colt continues, they will. By the way, if you ever decide to move to PC, you don't have to worry about drivers. That stopped in the early 2000s. That's true if you get apps and stuff. I had to learn into this as well because I did game primarily or simultaneously primarily with my PlayStation and other game consoles, but I played mostly on PC. I have a lot of experience on PC. A lot has changed, just like with technology. But yes, I had to look into this. He's right. You can get an app. There's other ways around it. If you don't do your diligence, your due diligence, it can be a headache though. So keep that in mind. But let's continue on to Gravy Stone stating, what about when I move to PC and my half of library won't carry over from console? Because this is a valid and general concern, right? Colt states, nope, most games won't. Yikes. Yikes. Most games won't, but you guys, just come on over to PC real quick. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Maybe if you're mostly renting, it probably wouldn't be a good deal. You continue to help push forward and quicker the downfall of Xbox being a hardware business in regards to consoles. Yeah, maybe it's not a big deal. But let's continue. Gravy Stone. Yeah, so it sounds like the whole Xbox is everything doesn't benefit the people who supported Xbox the most. I don't see how this strategy wins in the long run. And I agree with Gravy. And that's what I've been saying from day one. You guys that are true Xbox fans out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yes, the Astros and the everybody that want to clip my stuff, they always happen to leave out when I say, you know what, you can game anywhere you want, anywhere your heart desires, and that's A-okay. I'm just stating the facts and the trajectory and what's going on. And those that sit there, you're a PlayStation fanboy, yeah, I prefer PlayStation, too bad. I guess that upsets you quite a bit because I tell you all the great things about it because it's been great since day one, since I've invested in the ecosystem. They've dropped the ball here and there. I've mentioned that multiple times. But before I keep going on a tangent here, play where you want. And I'm just stating here what the issue is. That's not a good strategy. For the true Xbox fans out there, that's a spit in the face. Eat some dog crap while you're at it, right? Like, what are they doing here as a fan base? I'd be furious if I invested my time and money in the company that I am part of for the ecosystem. You know, that's just the way it is. If you're part of that ecosystem, they crap all over you. I would be super upset. If PlayStation was doing the other thing, again, I state this over time, and they don't clip this part. They don't clip this part. If Sony's shoe was on the other foot, I would either be going to PC or Xbox. It's that simple. I go where the games are at and where you're not being treated like crap as a consumer. People get, oh, you have to pay full price for games. Oh my God, you guys, I have to pay for my hobby? That's crazy. That must mean I'm a corporate bootlicker. That just means you have a hobby and you pay for stuff. Are you out there trying to score the best deal on the G. Loomis fishing pole out there? No. Ridiculous. You buy what you want, the quality that you want, you know what you expect. Before I keep going on that tangent, let's finish this one up though. Cold Eastwood. Remember, ask yourself, what are you losing? So now he puts on those counselor or psychiatrist glasses, tries to make sense of the world here, but I do like the response here. Gravy Stone, sounds like my library of games, crying laughy emoji, and he's 100% right. So yes, Colt, that's some egg in your face right there. They're losing their damn games. The whole part of being an Xbox fan into that ecosystem is losing your games. It's not as simple as like, oh, I'm just picking up my stuff and moving over to PC and I'll be all right. You sacrifice stuff. You're going to sacrifice some of your games. You're going to sacrifice stuff. And yes, you can pirate stuff. Yes, you can emulate. You can do this and this and this on PC. But it's not the same. You know it's not the same. And it's not as easy as it looks and sounds. And it takes research and information and learning and all sorts of stuff. It's not just pick up your books to the other table and let's just have a jolly old time. It's that simple. It's not that simple. So I feel for these folks. Simple as that. But Colt, being one of the worst psychiatrists and counselors out there, tip of the hat to you as always. Now, one more before we get to a video post here. Real quick, Anna Anson, I think this is great, by the way. This idiot. Hello, Satya tags them. Xbox fans are the ones that defined the Xbox brand for the past 20 plus years and made it as big as it is today. You would be extremely wrong if you think you or anyone can redefine Xbox fans. Our support and wallets are what define your success or failure. And you guys didn't do that, Anna Anson. You guys didn't do that. You have no one to blame but yourselves. Well, a little bit of Xbox, right? Because they came up with Game Pass. They kind of herded you as the sheep you are into that ranch right there and got you to do what they wanted you to do. But unfortunately, those subs didn't come. So, Anna Anson, you guys absolutely were a part of the problem as well, though. So be careful with your wording you keeps up and keep up the good work. Because look out, Satya. Anna Anson's not having this. They're pretty upset, so I don't know what to tell you there. Maybe up at the security because Anna Hansen looks a little unhinged, a little shaky at the best here. So I can only imagine once they pull the rug out and officially announce like, yeah, no next-gen console from us, the rumored third-party stuff with Lenovo and Asus and all this stuff. They're working on handheld stuff or this and that. And it's just really just everything's out there. And they're just like, you can get our stuff for hardware if you want. It'll work well with our ecosystem, but we're done. I'm waiting for that rug to be pulled. That'll be some serious salt, a waterfall of it. But as we continue on here, I just want to end on one quick little video. We're going to explain why. This is one more from Colt. Man, he just gives so much good salt. He gives so much good nonsense here. But take a look.
The game is coming out on Xbox, PC, Game Pass, and PlayStation 5. I have to wonder what in the world is Xbox thinking, and then I remember, oh yeah, Outer Worlds. That game came out on the PlayStation back in last generation, which is a difficult truth for Xbox fans, especially those keen-eyed fans who know that Xbox has always said up until this point that Outer Worlds 2 would be exclusive to the Xbox platforms, which was a huge damper for Xbox starting the show early and saying, Outer Worlds 2, here it comes, it looks amazing, it looks fantastic, you're going to be playing it in 2025. They had 2 or 3 commercials for, you can get with this or you can get with that. And every time I see this commercial, I can't stand it.
All right, so as we've been going over the Colt stuff, it's like pick a lane. Are you upset at this stuff? Are you upset at the ads? Are you upset about being an Xbox refugee? Are you upset that your grifting is becoming harder because it's harder and harder as the days go on for you to defend the brand? I think that's what we're getting at here. And it's so funny to see him flip-flop. Like, are you fully PC or are you not? But as we know, a lot of those PC grifters out there, they like to sit there and favor Xbox ecosystem because it's super pro-consumer there. So forget Sony. Sony's the bad guy, guys, because you have to pay for your hobby and you're not able to get it in a subscription service all the time, which PlayStation has a subscription service, but they still find an issue with PlayStation as well because you have to have a PSN user account, this and that. You have to do the same thing with Minecraft and stuff now with Microsoft. I mean, we've gone over this, guys. Like, it's just, the grifting is unreal. And Colt, pick a lane, man. Pick a lane. Are you upset or are you not? Have you moved on and it's water under the bridge or not? Obviously, it's not. You're hurting every single day. It's hilarious. I appreciate the content. And I'll look forward to more. So that being said, we'll wrap up the video here before it gets too long. Again, hopefully everybody had a good holiday week, even if you don't support friends, family, had a great time with loved ones, and look forward to the new year and even further salty batch files throughout the new year. So plenty of salt to be coming. So with that being said, appreciate you sticking around for the entirety of the video. If you haven't already, definitely leave a like and comment. Would love to hear from you. Both those things do help out the algorithm. And of course, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. We are getting very close to that 3,000 subs goal. So I really appreciate that. At this point in time, less than 300 subs to get to that 3,000 sub goal. So thank you very, very much. Really appreciate that. That being said, just remember, enjoy your day, everybody. And just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see you all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.